Joining me now is Senator Matthew Samuda and meteorologist Evan Thompson, both with Jamaica's Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Senator Samuda, I'll start with you because you've been leading the hurricane preparation. What are people and businesses in your country doing to prepare for this monster hurricane?
Well, there's a great deal of anxiety as we'd have seen the impact of this storm in Barbados, in St. Vincent, and of course in Grenada. So citizens, businesses alike have been putting in place all of their hurricane preparatory steps. So there's a great deal of activity at the supermarkets, great deal of activity at our hardware stores, and people are putting in place the protection mechanisms that we know work. At the government level, we've been focused on clearing major drains right throughout our townships. We've been ensuring that all of our government buildings are indeed protected by way of being boarded up, ensuring that roofs are secure. We're doing what we can, but ultimately we've also been focused on ensuring that citizens have the information. So those who are in low-lying areas, those who are in flood-prone areas, go to any of our 780-plus shelters, because ultimately saving lives is our first priority. Property is second. But it's not our first hurricane, it's not our first tropical storm of sorts, but we are very worried about this one because it is a Category 4.
Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Thompson, you serve as the hurricane expert.
Yes.
Describe the current conditions for us, the impact we've already seen in neighbouring islands and the expectations for impact in Jamaica.
Yes, this is something that has come upon us at a time that we really didn't expect this kind of activity. So early in the hurricane season, just before we ended the first month of the season, we already saw a system developing that was entering the Caribbean and picking up the speed in terms of movement, but also the speed in terms of intensity of the system moving into the Eastern Caribbean. So it has been quite something to watch and to be a part of understanding what is really happening here with the changes that are taking place in the climate, whether it's with the variability or the change of the climate. And then, of course, what we're seeing happening in the Eastern Caribbean has really caused us to think about what these systems can really produce. The kinds of storm surge that we experienced, we heard and we saw by video taking place in places like Barbados and Grenada and St. Vincent. We saw the storm surge, we saw the devastation that these countries